Alright, welcome back to the Crabby Days. Today we're going to be playing Caverna Cave versus Cave, which is a much smaller two-player version of the Big Brother Caverna game. Alright, you're also going to see that we're focusing only on the caves, as the name says, and it's going to be player A versus player B because it is a two-player game. Now, the main mechanism of this game is sort of worker placement, but without workers. We're going to be activating these tiles down here and performing the actions on the tiles, then resetting, and then doing it over again. Alright, so let's not waste any more time. So we do have player A versus player B. Player A is going to be first player because they do have the rooster token. And then they're ready to go. Alright, so on your turn, at the start of the round, before I even forget, I'm going to forget this probably a couple times, but the first thing you're going to do is flip over to the next tile, which is going to give you more options because these tiles do end up getting better and better. Alright, so player A is going to go, and they have to take one of these tiles to activate it. Now, if you are playing head to head and facing each other, normally you just slide these tiles towards you to show that you've activated that tile because it sort of blocks it from the other player, but I'm just going to be sliding them down throughout this playthrough so you don't get confused. Alright, so when you see these orange marks, it means activating buildings in your area, and then we'll go through the other tiles as they come up. Alright, so the first thing I think I want to do, just to show you how it works, I'm going to build one of the starting available tiles in my cave. Alright, so let's look at the anatomy of a action tile here. So this one says pay 1 food per worker and take a building. You got to pay for the building as well, and then place it in your cave. Alright, so this is what I'm going to activate. Now, when you see a horizontal line, it means you can do both. Alright, and if it's a vertical line, you got to choose. Alright, so for example here, you got to choose between these two actions, but horizontal lines you do both. Alright, so here I'm going to have to pay 2 food to even place the building. Now the reason it's 2 is because for the first 3 rounds of the game we're only doing 2 actions each, and then afterwards you're going to do 3 actions until the last round of the game. You're going to have 4 actions each. Alright, so first I'm going to slide this down, and now I got to pay 2 food. Now I have 1 food right now. Alright, and then you're going to say, where's my other food? Well, you have an anytime action that you can do at all times. Right? I can pay a yellow, green, or gold and turn it into food. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take my green resource, use it, and convert that into food. So that was the 2 food that I needed to pay for that action. Alright, now I do have to pay for the room I want to build. Alright, so just looking around, I think I'm going to try a new strategy that I never tried before. I think I'm going to build the grindstone right away. Alright, so let's look at the anatomy of a tile. Alright, first, whatever's in brown here is the cost to build this building. So I'm going to pay 1 stone. Alright. After that, if you look on the right, you need to have the wall segments available when you place this tile in your cave. Alright, so black means you must have a wall there, and white is optional. Alright, and blanks are no wall must be there. Alright, and the edges of your cave sort of count as walls. So what I can do is I can place this like this. As you can see, there's only 1 wall here. I got a wall here, so that means this is a valid placement. Now after you place the tile and it's a valid placement, then you can reorient it, because you only really need to check that when you place the building. Afterwards it's fine. Alright, and basically that was my action. I pretty much paid my food, I paid the cost, I placed the building, I'm done. Now I could have also played another building by placing a gold, but as you can see I got no place available in my tableau, so that would have been impossible. Alright, so that was my first action of the game. Just FYI, when I activate this in the future, basically what it's going to allow me to do is turn the yellow resources, which I'm just going to call wheat, even though it's not called wheat in the game, and it's going to give me food. Alright, so this one I can turn in either 1 for 3 or 4 for 7. So I'm going to want to get a lot of yellow and then convert it into a lot of food so I can do more actions on the board. Alright, so there you go. That was my first action. So remember, for the first 3 rounds of the game, we're only doing 2 actions each. So when there's 4 of these get slid down, then it's going to be the end of the round. Alright, so now we're going to jump over to the other side over here. So now what action does player B want to do? I think what they're going to do is they're going to use the masonry action over here. Alright, so they're going to activate it. And basically what this says is you get to activate a building. So we do all start with a default building. This one just gives you 1 of any resource except for gold and food. Alright, then you get a wood or a stone, and then you get a wall segment. So let's do all of those. Okay, first he's going to activate this building. I think what he's going to do at the start of the game is get some, let's just say, stone. So he's going to get a stone. And then what he's going to do is for the other action here, he's going to get a wood. Let's just keep him flexible so he can build a bunch of different things. So he has a bunch of different resources. And then at the bottom here is build a wall segment. So he's going to take one of these wall segments and he gets to add it to his board. I think what he's going to do is, because he might want to try to build, let's see. Let's say he wants to build a parlor. He needs 3 walls in sort of a U orientation. So let him build this wall right over here, so that when he excavates this, he'll be able to build the parlor right over here. All right, but basically that was his action. He performed all the stuff on the tiles. All right, we do also have to keep in mind that the parlor is going to cost a gold and a stone, so he must have those available when he does the next turn. All right, so now we're going to go to player A for their second action of the round, and I think what they're going to do is going to activate this tile right over here. All right, so this one says activate a building, get 2 yellow resources and get 1 green resource. All right, so let's get the resources first. So we're going to go 1, 2. We're going to go green up like this. All right, and then the building I'm going to activate is obviously this building here, which allows me to convert 1 yellow into 3 food. So I'm going to move my yellow down by 1, and then we get 1, 2, 3 food, and that was pretty much my turn. All right, let's jump back over to the second player over here. Now he's got a choice of only 2 different buildings. All right, so he's got to choose between. This is the excavation building. This is basically excavating the rubble out of your tableau over here. And then the activation. Now, I don't think he wants to activate that tile again because that's a pretty crappy tile. I think what he's going to do is excavate twice and get stone. So if we look at this tile, so you can excavate once for free or pay 2 food to excavate twice and you'll get a stone. So I think what they're going to do is excavate twice. All right, so they're, again, they only have 1 food, so they're going to pay 1, so they need to generate another food. So let's just say they want to use up their yellow. All right, so that's 2 food. So now they get to excavate twice. So I think for sure one of their excavations is going to be this tile over here, which gives them back a food. All right, and then the next one is going to be this one here, so you can build this parlor in the next few rounds. So now whatever we excavate, these tiles are now tiles that we're going to be able to build in our tableau. So they get flipped over and they're now added to the tableau. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to move the beginner ones to the top and put the more interesting ones down below like this. All right, but just like that, we both did 2 actions. Actually, I did forget to give him a stone. Sorry about that, because you do get a stone. All right, so we did 2 actions each. It is a 2 action round, which is going to reset by moving them all up, and then that's it for the round. All right, so at the start of round 2, a couple of maintenance things. You got to move over first player marker to the other player. We're going to flip over the new available tile. This one allows you to build. So this one gives you a food and then you get to do a build action. All right, so very similar to this one, except that this one gives you the opportunity to build twice, and this one you have to build only once. All right, so let's get started here. So now player 2 is going to be first player, and I think they're going to try to build right away. Let's see if they have the resources. These 2 juicy tiles did come up, so instead of building the parlor, actually he's eyeing this one because he already has everything set up, so he can definitely play this here because as you can see, the U shape of the walls actually makes sense right away. All right, so this is going to cost him 1 wood and 2 stones, so he already has those resources, so that's fine. He's looking at what else he can do, because technically what he's going to do is I think he's going to try to build twice, but he's going to need to turn in some resources to build twice. All right, so let him do that. So let him activate this tile, and he's actually going to build twice. I'm going to show you how. All right, so first he has to spend 2 food to build once. All right, so he's going to spend 1 food, and he's going to spend his green to remember the anytime action to turn it into a food. So now he gets to build. All right, so the first thing he's going to do is going to build the bake house like over this. So this is going to cost him 1 wood and 2 stone. All right, so 1 wood and 2 stone. All right, so that goes there. All right, so that satisfies that one. And then what he's going to do is he's going to activate the bottom one here. So instead of using 5 food, he's going to turn in a gold. He's going to use his only gold, and then he's going to have to build again. All right, so he's looking at these sort of tiles. Now the only ones he could build, as you can see, are the ones that only have 1 wall segment. So he has a 1 wall here and 1 wall here. So he's looking here. So the only ones that are really available are these 2. So he has one that he'll gain 2 of any resource, and then this one is turn green into gold. I think what he's going to do is build a shelf. So he's going to build a shelf. It's a 1 wall segment. He's going to build it right over here. He's going to flip it over to make it make sense. And that one's going to cost him 1 wood. Boom. And just like that, he's pretty much out of all resources except for stone, but he did his action. All right, now we're going to jump over to player A. Now player A, what he wants to do is start excavating all this stuff over here. So what they're going to do is they're going to activate this tile over here. So this one is use 2 food to excavate twice, or you excavate once for free. But because I have plenty of food, I'm going to use it to my advantage. So let's use up 2 food, 1, 2. And let's excavate twice. I think for sure I'm going to excavate this one because it is going to give me a food back. Let's put it up. Let's flip over the tile and see what it is. It's a wood storeroom. And then the other one I'm going to do is, let's say I want to build something maybe that has an L shape in the future without having to build a wall. So let's excavate this one over here. Alright, so I'm pretty flexible. I can build an L one here or one here. Now the last thing I got to gain from this tile is a stone. So let's gain a stone back. So I'm not at 0. And they're pretty much done their action. So let's move over to the other player. Now before I move on, there are blue buildings and orange buildings in the game. The blue ones are persistent bonuses. So this is whenever you activate a room, you get a wood no matter what. The orange ones are the ones that you actually have to activate with the tiles. Alright, so now that they're done, I think what they're going to try to do is get some resources. So what they're going to do is activate a room. So let me look at their sort of resources here. I think what they're going to do is try to get a lot of yellow so they can turn it into food. Sort of, we're both going to be running for yellow, so it might be a hot contested resource for the rest of the game. But I think they're going to activate the cultivation tile over here. So this one allows them to get 2 yellow and 1 green. So let's give them that resource. Alright, after that they get to activate a tile. And I think what they're going to do is they're going to activate the bakehouse. Why not? Actually, no. Because they do have enough to run it for food. And they're at no food. You know what? Sure, why not? Because they don't have any food, they're going to do that. So they're going to use up their 2 yellow that they just gained. And they're going to turn it into 4 food and 1 gold. Actually, let me show you a bit closer image. So they could have done this or this. So let them gain this one here because they only have 2 yellow, right? So they're gonna get 4 food and 1 gold. So they're gonna use 2 yellow, 1, 2. They're gonna get 4 food, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 gold. Alright, and that was their second action. And remember, it is the second round of the game. We're only gonna have 2 actions each. So they're pretty much done for the round. Now we're gonna jump over to this side. And I think for sure, maybe I'm going to try to build a building. The problem is that I'm going to need to spend food according to the round. So I'm going to have to spend 1 food. But this building itself gives you a food. So I only need to spend 1 food to actually build a building. Now, when I'm looking at these buildings that I've left to build here, I could build one that has 1 wall or one that has 2 walls. So I can build this one or this one. I can even build this one because remember, the white walls are optional. So I can just pretend that this one is a 1 wall building type of thing. Alright, this one is sort of a late game one where you're spending a lot of the yellow and green into gold. So I'm not going to be focusing on this one for a while. I could try to get this one, which just gives you free wood throughout the game. Or I can use the one that sort of converts the green into food and gold, which is a pretty nice one as well. I can go for one of the basic ones too. Actually, I just did notice that I just have 1 wood, so I wouldn't even be able to build this one. But this one and this one, maybe if I get some free wood throughout the game, I can get the other ones that use up wood. So that's what I'm gonna do. Let me build this one. So first I'm gonna gain a food, and then I'm gonna pay 1 food per worker, so it's gonna cost me 2. So 1, 2. Alright, I'm gonna build this. It's gonna cost me a stone. Alright, and I'm gonna place it right here, which is in the corner slot over here, and that's fine. So that's gonna be like this. Right, so now whenever I activate a 1 spot, it's gonna give me a free wood of my, free wood. All right, and that was it. So there you go. We did 2 actions each. Actually, it would have been this tile over here. So now we slide it all up, and that's the end of the round. All right, so started round 3. So I'm gonna pass the chicken marker over to the other side. Flip over the next tile. All right, and we're pretty much ready to go. Now, player is gonna choose. I think what they're gonna do is, I was originally thinking about excavating, But I think what I'm going to do instead is activate a building, because remember, this is a really hot contested commodity at this point because we both want yellow. So let me activate this tile. So this one's going to give me 2 yellow, 1, 2, 1 green. All right, and then I get to activate a building. Remember my little bonus here, whenever I activate a 1 building, I get a free wood. So let me get a wood. All right, and obviously the one I'm going to activate is my grindstone, and this is going to turn in 4 yellow for 7 food. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So all my yellow. Then I'm going to get 7 food. So it's going to bring me up to 8. So I'm going to have plenty of food for a long time. I'm not going to have to scrounge around and convert resources, which kind of sucks. All right, so now we're going to jump over to the other side. Now for player 2, I think it's obvious he's going to try to sort of excavate because he wants to free up some spots for some buildings. So they're going to activate this spot here. Let's use it. First, let's give them a stone. All right, after that, let's use up 2 food to excavate twice. So 1, 2, and they're going to excavate twice. You know what? Let's do this one, and let's go higher. Let's do this one. All right. Wow, look at that, a stateroom which costs 7 gold. Wow. All right, so these are some of the later ones that I'm probably not going to build for a while. I'll build the interesting ones in the middle here, and then there's the original beginner ones on top. All right, so that was player B's move. So remember, this is a 2 action round. Now we're going to go to player A. Now that kind of sucks because I definitely did want to excavate some of these tiles. I think my first action next turn is going to be for sure to excavate to get rid of some of these walls. So what else can I do? Now I can activate the building again, but it's not going to be that useful. I could build one of these buildings over here. I mean, I could activate a building, get a free resource, get a wood, which will give me another wood, then build a wall. This could be pretty useful, pretty much set me up in the next few turns because I'll be full of resources and ready to go. So that's what I'm going to do. So let me activate this first. All right, so let me go in order. So this lets me activate a building. I think what I'm going to activate is actually my... I'm actually going to activate my original cave entrance because I can't even activate my building here because I don't even have a yellow resource. All right, so I'm going to activate this. This gives me 1 of any resource. I think what I'm going to do is get a yellow. Why not? All right, after that, I'm going to get a wood or a stone. Let's get a stone because I don't like being at 0. All right, I got to look at my bonus. Remember, I do get a free wood. And then here I get a wall segment. So where am I going to put it? I think I'm just going to copy my buddy on this side and put it over here. So in the future I can build an L1 if I excavate here. And then I'll have access to a sort of corridor style one in the corner here. All right, and pretty much that was my action. Let's move over to the other player. They're gonna do an action. They don't have the resources really to build any of the buildings. It's 2 wood, 2 wood, 1 wood. I mean, they can technically build this one, but that's not interesting. Well, they can't actually because they don't have the wall segments. They don't have the wall segments for this. They could build this one, which will raise up their food, but that's not interesting because they already have a method of gaining a lot of food, and they don't have the wood for this. So I think they just need to generate a lot of resources. At this point, what they're gonna do is they're gonna run the undergrowth action. So this lets them activate a building and get 2 wood. So they can get 2 wood, boom, boom. All right, so they can build a building next turn. And then the building they're gonna activate is the shelf. All right, the shelf, what it's gonna let them do is move any resource up to 2, and obviously they're gonna take their yellow resource and move it up to 2. All right, that's probably the best bang for their buck. And they're pretty much done. As you can see, we did our 4 actions. Move it back up. That was a 2 action round. That's the end of the round. Let's move on to the next one. All right, so what is this? Round 4. Let's pass the chicken token over. By the way, one rule that I did forget to mention is you can only activate a building once per round, and technically you have these action markers to track it, but I'll only probably end up doing that later on when we get to the 2s down here in the 3 action spots. All right, next we're gonna flip over the next action tile. All right, so this one lets you, oh wow, it's really expensive. So you get to excavate and you get to build a building for 5 food or 2 gold. Wow, that's expensive. Okay, so it's gonna be player 2 who goes first. And let's see. I think what they're gonna do is, Build the storeroom, build the stateroom. Actually, what they're gonna do is they're gonna build, because they got 2 wood now, so they can build these storerooms. So let them build. So what they're gonna do is, let's build. Do we need to build once or twice? So they're gonna build this here. Do they have enough resources to build anything else? They're gonna be out of wood. They can use their stone. So let's go build. The food court's not that useful for them. They could actually. They're gonna lose their gold. They won't be able to build anything else, so they only want to build once, so might as well save the food. So what they're going to do is they're going to use the furnishing action here. Alright, that's going to give them a food. Alright, but then they got to pay 1 per. So remember, now we're in the 3 action round, so they actually have to pay 3 food to build a building. So now they're at 3, so they're going to go to 0. And the one that they wanted to build is the storeroom. And as you can see, if you put it like this, it satisfies the sort of wall placement. So they're going to place it upright. And obviously I forgot to pay for it, so they're going to use up 2 wood and 1 gold. So now when they activate this, it's going to give them a yellow, a green, and a food resource. Alright, it is also 6 points, which is really good. There's actually, I got to keep track of the points. So they've built 2 6-point buildings and a 3-point building, so they're at 15 points, and I'm at only 6 points right now. So they're really dominating me. They're building the higher point buildings. Alright, so that was their action though. Let's move over to the next side over here. I think obviously I want to excavate and just get rid of some of these tiles. So let me excavate. I am going to gain a stone out of this. So this is going to be use 2 food, 1, 2, excavate twice. Obviously I'm going to get rid of this one. Alright, and let's just get rid of this one as well. Alright, these are some pretty juicy buildings as well. Actually, this one is pretty good. It lets you generate turn wood and green resource into 3 gold. This one is 3 resources into 2 gold and 2 food, which is pretty good as well. All right, and this is turn 2 food into every other resource. Wow, these are pretty good. All right, so that was my action. Let's move over to player B. All right, so what do they want to do? They would love to excavate actually, but unfortunately to excavate, they have to either take this tile or this tile, which is not fantastic because this tile is basically just using it to excavate once, and this tile here, it's not great either. So what they're gonna do is they're gonna run their sort of buildings here. I think what they're gonna do is use the number 2. All right, so let me use some of these just to show you how it works. So they get to activate 2 of the buildings. So the first building they're gonna use is the shelf. Actually, no, wait. The first building they're gonna use is the yeah, let's say the shelf, so that they can get back their wood, right, that they just spent. So they're gonna go up to number 2. Right, so that was that building, and we'll just put a number 2 to say that we activated. And the second building they're gonna build or activate is gonna be the bakehouse. So remember, for this one, I gotta turn in 2 wheat or yellow resource, and it's gonna give me 4 food. Let's move this up to 4 and 1 gold. So back up to 1 gold. Boom. Now activated. Alright, so there you go. Alright, so that was their action. Let's move over to this side. Alright, so for player A, originally I wanted to build a building, but I think I need to build a wall segment so that I can satisfy multiple different tiles here. Alright, so what I'm going to do actually is activate the masonry first. So this one's going to be, let's just put out my wall segment first. So this one I'm actually going to place like this, let's just say. After that, it's going to give me a wood or a stone. I think I'm going to take the, because most of these take wood, although this one takes stone. So I'm actually going to take the stone. Alright, because I am going to get the wood for free because I'm activating 1 building. Remember, from this power, so that's going to give me a free wood. Alright, and then I activate 1 of my buildings. I mean, let me just activate my building here. So it's going to cost me 1. It's going to give me 3 food. So I'm at 6. It's going to bring me to 9. Alright, pretty much that's it for player A. So we did 2 actions each. It is a 3 action round. So last action for player B. So let's, oh, I did forget to remove this. This is only for 1 turn, or yeah, 1 turn. Alright, so what do they want to do? I mean, they can excavate and build again. Actually, they don't have enough to build again, so never mind. They can, oh, they really like their wheat resource, so let me do that. So cultivation. So they're gonna get 2 yellow, 1 green. All right, they get to activate one of their buildings. They're not going to activate this. The shelf is useless for them. This one's kind of useless. They'd rather run it at the 3. So I think they're going to activate their storeroom, so which is going to give them 1 yellow, 1 green, and 1 food. All right, there you go. So they're done for the round. They've activated 3 times. Now we're going to go to this side, and obviously I'm going to build 2 buildings because that's what I originally wanted to do. So I'm going to move this down. Now, just to show you, I'm going to use the first power here, which is pay a food per dwarf. So it's going to be a 3 food round. So it's going to be 3 food. Plus, I'm going to pay 5 food down here. So in total, I'm spending 8 food to build 2 buildings. So I'm just going to pay that right away. So I'm at 9. So it's going to be down to 1. So I'm not going to use up my gold for this one. All right. And then I get to build 2 buildings. I think the 2 I really want to build are for sure the weaving room. So it's going to give me a use for my green resources. So that's going to be right over here, and I satisfy with the double wall segment here. So I'm just going to place it. So this is going to cost me 2 wood. So 1, 2. And the other one I want to build, I think I'm going to do I build the storeroom? Sorry, the warehouse or the furniture room? I could also build the stall, but I have better use for my green and yellow resources. I think I'm going to build the warehouse. Alright, so this one, it's going to give me 1 of every resource, but it's going to cost me 2 food. It's not the best building. Let's see. I could turn food and... But the building I just built is for green, and this one is to get rid of green for gold, and this one gives me 2 gold, this one gives me 3 gold. Not the best buildings to choose from. I like the buildings player B has better. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to build a warehouse, see if I can make this work. So this is going to cost me another 2 wood, and I'm going to place it like this, so the wall segment is here, and then I'm just going to turn it upright. Alright, this is going to cost me 2 more wood, and just like that I'm out of yellow and out of wood. Alright, but that's going to be the end of the round. We activated 6 different action tiles in total, so they're all going to go up. Alright, end of the round. Alright, so next round, let's pass that chicken marker over. Alright, so it's going to be player A who goes first. Now, looking at this board, oh, I did forget to flip over the next tile. So it is an excavation one. Man, looking at this board, for sure I wanted to excavate, but I don't have the food ready. So I'm almost positive my opponent here is going to run that action. Which isn't great because I was going to generate some food now to get ready for this, but if they're going to use it, maybe it's not that useful. What else can I do looking at this line? I could, do one action and excavate for once for free, which is technically better than just getting a stone. I think what I'm going to do is generate some resources so that I can run my engine better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run my cultivation, which is going to give me a ton of food. All right, so the way this is going to work is first I'm going to get 2 yellow. All right, then I'm going to get 1 green. All right, and then I'm going to run a 1, which means because of my power, I'm going to get a free wood. And I think the one I'm going to run is, I can't run this one because I don't have 2 food. I don't want to run this one because I didn't get to 4 wheat just yet. So I'm going to run this one, which means I got to use up 2 green resources. So 1, 2. And it's going to give me 2 food. 1, 2. And 2 gold. 1, 2. Boom. Just like that. All right, so there you go. I'm pretty much done. Let's move over to my buddy over here. And I think, as we already know, they're going to run their excavation. So they're going to use 2 food. 1, 2. Back to 3. They're going to excavate twice. Let them go, whoops, for the corner one over here. Oh boy, this one needs walls on all sides. Which is pretty good because they just need a wall segment here and they'll be able to build it. And then let them activate this one over here. Alright, which is going to give them a food back. And this is a blue building. Right, so this one is, whenever you gain 1 to 3 green, you're actually going to gain a food. Right, which is pretty good because he generates a lot of green. Alright, especially with this one. Alright. So that was their action. Let's jump over back to my side. So now I really need to excavate myself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run the drift mining action here, which is going to allow me to excavate 1 spot. At this point, let me excavate this one here. All right. All right, and I get to activate a 1 building, so that's going to give me a wood, remember, because of my power. And which one do I want to run? This time I have a couple of choices. I can run this for 3 food, or I can use up 2 food and get 1 of every resource. Let me run that one. It's probably better. So 1, 2. So now I'm going to get a wood, a stone. So I'm going to get a stone. I'm going to get a wood. I'm going to get a yellow, and I'm going to get a green. All right, so there you go. All right, so player A is done. Let's jump back over to player B. And now that all the spots have opened up, I think they're gonna get ready to build the dungeon here. Actually, wait, not the dungeon. Well, they have a choice. They can build either the secret chamber or the dungeon, because these need 4 walls on all sides, and they just have to build a wall segment here. Actually, I really like this secret chamber. Plus, both of these are amazing because they generate a ton of points. I think player B is sort of running away with it. They're getting all the great buildings. This one is, whenever you build a wall segment, you actually get 2 gold. Actually, it takes 4. Never mind. He doesn't have 4 gold to build this. So let's put this over here. Alright, so they're going to build the secret chamber. But to do that, they're going to need an extra wall segment. So they're going to do this action here. Alright, so they're going to build a wall. They're going to build it right over here. Alright, next, they're going to get a wood or a stone. Looking at these buildings here, let's see, all stone, stone, wood. Let him get another stone. How about that? Alright, so that was the stone here. And then he gets to activate 1 of his buildings. This one's useless because all his things are above 2. Does he have 3? He does. So what he's going to do, he's going to run this one here. So it's going to cost him all 3 of his yellow. But he's going to get 4 food out of it. So he's going to go to 8. And 2 gold. So it's going to bring him to 3. Alright, so he's got plenty of food and plenty of resources, not like player A. Alright, so player A's turn. Not exactly sure what I should do with his sort of tiles. I don't really have a game plan. I think I'm just gonna keep excavating and building and see if I can catch up in points. So what they're gonna do is they're gonna run the expansion action. So this is a free excavation. Obviously the only one they can excavate is this one, because this one is through a wall. So they're gonna excavate this one. Let's add this to the pile of tiles. Ooh, a treasury. That's nice. Actually, this would be great if I put it right over here, because it is 10 points. Alright, either way, that was that action. So now I get to build. So unfortunately, I don't have 5 food, so it's going to cost me 2 gold to build, which is 2 points. But I do get to build something. Now, which tile do I want to build? I sort of have a U, I have an L shape, and I have a 1 wall. So I can pretty much build anything. Alright, I do have to look at the resources, so I don't have the gold. So I can't build this or this. I only have 1 gold. I can technically build this, but it's not great for me right now. I could get the redding room, but that's just another blue room that doesn't really help me. It's when I generate green. It's going to generate me food. So technically when I run this, when I run these two, I generate a green, so that generates the food. So technically I only need 1 food to run this, which is actually pretty good. But is it worth this tile? It is only 3 points as well. You know what? Let's build it. It's going to cost me 1. And this is going to need a 1 wall segment. I'm going to build it here, turn it upright, and I'm ready to go. Alright, so that was my 3 actions for the round. Let's jump over to the other side. And over here they have a ton of food, as you can see. So they're going to build 2 buildings. So they're going to do this action again. It's going to cost them all 8 of their food because they don't want to use up their gold. They're going to build 2 buildings. Which one was the one they were eyeing before? So they don't have enough for this one. Oh yeah, they wanted the one that had the walls on all sides. So either the secret room or the treasury. This one is pretty good. It just generates an extra point and an extra food. This one's straight up either 3 or 1. The 3 could be pretty good because then I can use it in a different building, like let's say this one, to generate 4 afterwards. I gotta look at the point totals as well. You know what? He's just gonna go crazy and build the treasury. He's just gonna get a lot of points with his building. So he's gonna build this. It's gonna cost him 3 gold. 1, 2, 3. So that's gonna sit right over here. And for their second building, they can only build one that has a wall because they don't have 1 wall on it, because they don't have access to an L shape like this one. So they're gonna build. They can't build this one either because they don't have the gold because they spent it all. So what they're gonna do is they're gonna find the most lucrative tile here. I think they're going to take one of the ones that use up green because they don't have a tile that uses up green yet. They're going to take this one and they're going to place it right over, let's say right over here, because they can satisfy it like this and then turn it upright. Alright, and that was their 2 actions. They're done. That's 6. It is a 3 action, so we're good. The end of the round. And that's it. Alright, next round. So player B is going to go first. I can't forget to move the chicken. Let's flip over to the next tile. Alright, and I think what they're going to do is they're actually going to build a wall segment because they don't have any segments up here. And to get some of the better buildings, you need some wall segments. And you know, you do have to realize that there's only one add a wall segment on the whole row, so you sort of have to go for it if you want it. So they're going to activate this. This is going to give them their wall segment. They're going to build it up here. So they'll have some choices here for a U, an L, and a 1 wall going forward. They're going to get a wood or a stone. I think what they're going to do is maybe get a stone because then they can convert the stone into stuff. But they're looking here. This takes wood, stone. This takes a lot of stone. So let them get a stone. Now, just in case they want to get this bonus here, then that's straight up 11 points. All right, so that's pretty good. All right, and then they get to activate one of their buildings. I mean, they can get the 2 yellow here. They can get 1 of each resource. I think they want to try to get the yellow up so they can convert it for some food. Alternatively, they can just run this one and get some gold. You know, let them run the storeroom. This is a really good building. So the storeroom is going to give them 1 yellow, 1 green, and 1 food. Alright, in the future they can... Actually, wait, never mind. Let me take that back. Let me use the shelf to gain 2 food, because it'll get them closer to 3 here. Or they can even run this one to get the food that they need to go up the track. Alright, so that was their turn. Let's go over to this side. For this side, I think I'm going to run 3 actions. Alright, because that's the most on the whole track. I mean, yeah, sure, let me do that. So that's going to be 3 actions. What I'm going to do is, first thing I'm going to do is turn in 2 green. So let me keep track of this. 1, 2, and 3. So first thing I'm going to do is turn 2 green into 2 food and 2 gold. Boom. Alright, so that was that. Second action I'm going to do is the warehouse. So this one is going to use up 2 food. So it's going to go back to 1. It's going to generate me 1 wood, oops, 1 stone, 1 green, 1 yellow. But because I generated a green, remember, because of my ability here, I'm going to gain a food. Right? And the second building I'm going to run is this one here, the third building actually, which is 4 food, 4 yellow, which is all of it, which is going to give me my 7 food, so I'm at the maximum food. Alright, I did all that just to get back to food, so I can be pretty flexible when I'm doing my future actions. Alright, so there you go. Done with player A. Let's jump back over to this side. Now, unfortunately, that's what they really wanted to do. Now, they can sort of build a building if they wanted. They can build a double, because, I mean, all the rest are 1, so if they really want to activate their buildings, they really do have to jump onto this one. I think that's what they're going to do. They're going to jump onto this one. They're going to activate 2 of their buildings. We sort of know that they want to run this one to get some food, because they're at 0. But for that, they're going to need 1 more yellow. So what they're going to do is they're going to run this one. So it's going to be 1 yellow, 1 green, 1 food. And then this one's going to be 3 yellow, 1, 2, 3. Which is going to give them 4 food. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2 gold. 1, 2. Alright, go. They're done. Let's jump back to this side. Alright, so back to player A. So what action do they want to do? I think what they're going to do is excavate. Maybe they'll uncover a building that they can actually use, and then they're going to build. So either in one of these 2 spots. So let them do that. Let's excavate this spot over here. It's a 4 stone building. Alright, so this is gonna give me a food. Actually I can't generate the food. You know what, let's just pretend I mined up here because I didn't realize that one gave you food. Alright, so I mined over here. So now which building do I want to build? It's gonna cost me 5 food to build because I don't really want to use up to 2 points. I got plenty of food, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so it's there. And which building do I want to build? I can build any of them. I think I'm just gonna go for the one that has the most points on it. Unfortunately, I can't build the one with the walls all around because my buddy here stole that action from me. I would love to build a state house, but that would cost me 7 gold. I'm only at 3, so if there's a way for me to get 4 more gold, I can do it. This is not great. It's not an action. I can build a stall, and that'll allow me to get the gold. So maybe I can make this work. So let me build this. So this is going to be 1 gold and 1 wood, like that. I'm going to put this in my tableau, and I'm going to put it right over, like this is satisfied, so I'm just going to put it over here. Alright, something like that. Alright, so there you go. That was his actions. Jump over to this side. So what does he want to do? I think he wants to activate some tiles to convert his green into gold, maybe. To try to get to the better buildings that need 7 gold, maybe. They do have the stone for this one as well. Let's see. They wouldn't mind excavating as well. That's probably a good idea. So let's do that. It's gonna excavate twice. So 1, 2. You're gonna use a stone. All right, and there. Sorry. Yeah, gain a stone. Excavate twice. Let's do this one and this one. They have no choice to do these two because this one is behind the wall. So let's flip over these 2 tiles. Add them to the tableau. So this one is turn any 3 different resources into 2 gold. And this one is whenever you do the undergrowth action over here, you can turn in a food for a gold, which is pretty good. Alright, so that was their turns. Jump over to this side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is going to be the last action for the round. Then we're going to jump on to the second last, I guess, turn round. I'm not sure how they're called. Doesn't matter. So what do they want to do? I mean, at this point, might as well do the cultivation action again. It's probably their best bet. Sure, let's do that. So they're going to gain 2 yellow, 1, 2, 1 green, and activate a thing. But remember, that gives them a wood because of this action, or this power. Oh, because I generated a green for this, it generates me a food as well from this. So that's pretty good. And then I get to activate one of my action tiles. Obviously, I'm not going to activate this one because I don't have enough. I don't want to activate this one because I have enough food. I could technically activate this. It'll give me 1 of every resource. Or I can even activate this. It'll use up all my green and I'll generate 2 more food and 2 gold. So I think I'm going to activate this one. So I'm going to use up both my greens and then generate 2 food and 2 more gold. So I'm at 4. If I can get to 7, I would love to build this one right over here. Alright, so that's probably what my plan is going to be, to try to get to 7 right away. Alright, but there you go. That's the end of the round. Let's move these all back up. And that's about it. Alright, so second last round of the game. Let's move the chicken marker over. Let's flip over this tile. And I think I have a plan for my buddy here, number 8. I think he's definitely going to try to get to 7 gold so he can get his stateroom built. Alright, so for that, he sort of needs to race for, let's see, 3 more gold. And for that, I mean, there's a couple of buildings here that can do that. So what he's going to do is he's going to build a building. So to do that, I think what he's going to do is he's going to run the expansion action. Yeah, let's run the expansion action. And I'm going to run, and I'm going to build this one over here, which is called the sacrificial altar. It is 7 points, so it's quite a bit. And I'm going to build this one over here. Right over here. Right, that's going to cost me 5 food. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's also going to cost me the price of the building, which is 4 stone, which is all my stone. All right, and I get to do an excavation. I can do this one or this one. You know, now that I know that I need food, let me do this one, and that one's going to give me a food. All right, so this one is a blue tile. So whenever you take the 2 or 3 action, you're going to get a +1 action. So that's pretty good, but it is only 3 points. Alright, now we're going to jump over to my buddy here. I think they're going to want to build a lot more buildings out here just to score more points. They do want to maybe run this so they can run 3 different buildings. I think that's what they're going to do. Before this goes away and disappears, they're going to run 3 different buildings. Let me go get the 1, 2, and 3 marker. Alright, so let's see what they want to do. So first things first, I think they're going to want to use up their green because they're at 4. So they're going to go here. Use up 3 green, 1, 2, 3 to get 2 gold. 1, 2. Alright, next. I think what they're going to do is obviously use the storeroom because that building is just awesome. So that's going to give them 1 yellow, 1 green, and 1 food. And then they're going to actually, before they do that one, they're gonna run the shelf. So they would have done the shelf, which would have gave them 2, and then they would have done this one, which would have gave them an extra 1. And there you go, there's all 3. So the next turn they can run this one and maybe get the food that they really need and the 2 gold. Alright, so that's that. Alright, let's jump over to player A. So we already know his plan. He needs to build the storeroom. So he needs to activate this building to run it. So what he's going to do, he's going to look down the line. And I think what he's going to do is going to do the cultivation again. Yes, because he needs the green to activate this building for the gold. So he's going to activate this one. So this is going to give them 2 yellow and 1 green. Alright, remember, whenever I gain green, I'll also gain a food. Right, and then I get to activate 1 building. I'm going to activate this building here, which I need to spend a wood, a green, a yellow, and a food. So a green, a yellow, a wood, and a food. But it's going to give me 3 gold. 1, 2, 3. So I'm at 7, exactly what I need to build my stateroom over here. Alright, so that was their turn. Let's jump back over to this side. So 1, 2, 3. So 2 more actions for him. So this is actually pretty interesting. This is a new one that came up. So you can actually remove a wall that you had previously placed, and it's going to give you 2 stone, a gold, and 3 food. But you know what? I think they're okay for food for now. So I think they just want to build some buildings to fill up these spots. So I mean, let them use the regular housework over here. So for the housework, first they're gonna pay. I think they're gonna pay. They're gonna build 2 buildings. They're gonna use the top one with food and the bottom one with gold. So they're gonna spend 3 food and 1 gold. So 1, 2, 3, and 1 gold. So they can build twice. Now, what do they want to build? They pretty much have access to absolutely everything. I think what they're gonna do is for sure build the equipment room. Sure, let's build the equipment room. So that's gonna be 2 wood, 1, 2. Oh wait, let's keep track of that because nothing else. I gotta make sure that nothing else they want to build uses wood because they're gonna be out of wood. See, they can't build that afterwards. Yeah, maybe they won't do that because then they won't have any wood left. What they want to do is sort of use up their stone because they have 5 stone. Or they can keep it to turn it into 4 gold afterwards. Let's see, they can do this one. They already have a way of generating. Alright, so let's do it. I mean, they can build both of these blue buildings. Yeah, sure, let them do that. Because this one is actually technically free. So, what they're going to do is they're going to spend 2 wood. 1, 2. You're going to build both of these. Let's put this one over here. Doesn't really matter. And this one over here. Alright, so this is whenever they do the undergrowth action, maybe that's their next action, they're going to turn in a food for a gold. Alright. Alright, so that was their turn. Let's jump back over to player A. Now, what do they want to do? We already know they want to build. Unfortunately, the only places to build right now is 1 building over here for the furnishing, or this action spot over here. Although they have to keep in mind as well, is that for the last round of the game, this tile is only available for the person with the most gold pieces. Alright, so maybe I won't build. I'll keep my gold, and then in the last round of the game, then I'll definitely build it and get my points. And that's what I'm going to do. Alright, so for right now, I'm not going to build. So what do I want to do instead? That's a different question. I could alternatively build a wall. And that'll be useful because then I can build a couple of these other buildings. Like the stateroom is great, it's a U. Or I can build the one that's all around, which is 8 points. And this will give me different bonuses as well. And there's another one here that's all around. It's 11 points. That's a lot. I think I'm just going to activate 2 buildings. Let's just do that. 2 buildings. Looking at my board, I do need to generate a green. So let me use up 2 food. 1, 2. I'm going to gain 1 of everything. So 1 wood, 1 yellow, 1 stone, and 1 green. But remember, when I generate green, I'll generate a food. Right, so that was my first building. And my second building, I obviously don't want to do this one because I can't. I don't want to do this one because I can't. I don't want to do this one because I'm going to save up for these gold pieces here. I mean, I can use up one, or I can do this one. You know what? Let me do this one again. There you go. So there's my number 2. So this is going to be use up a yellow, use up a wood, use up a green, and use up a food. And it's going to generate me 3 more. 1, 2, and 10. Boom. There you go. There's my 2 actions. 2, 3, 4, 5. So the last action of the round goes to my buddy over here. So what does he want to do? I think he's just going to do the undergrowth action. Does that make sense? Sure, let's do that. So I'm going to run that engine of his. He's going to do this. I think what he's going to do is first he's going to use up his food for the gold piece because of this ability here. Then after that he's going to get 2 wood, get him off to 0. After that, the one building he wants to run is the bakehouse, which is going to be 3 yellow. 1, 2, 3. And it's going to generate him 4 food. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 2 gold. 1, 2. And just like that, we're done the rounds. Let's move these all back up. Let's go to the last round of the game. Alright, last round. So we're going to move the chicken marker over. And it's going to be player B who goes first. Now, for this last tile, I'm going to flip it over. This one can only be activated for with the person with the most gold. Alright, more gold than your opponent. And this is a really good tile. That's why you sort of want to generate gold throughout the game, because it's going to give you a free wall and a free placement of a building, which is great. Unfortunately, they're not going to be able to activate it because they're at 6. My buddy here is at 10. I'm trying to figure out a way if there's a way for him to get 5 gold this turn, just so that he can sort of have that priority for this tile, but I don't really see it. Maybe somebody can let me know down below to do it. There's a way for him to get an extra 3 or 4, maybe 5. It's gonna be close. So what they're gonna do first is they're gonna activate the expedition, which lets them activate 3 different buildings in their tableau. Alright, just because that's a pretty good tile, and they get to use their buildings. Alright, so what they're gonna do first is pretty easy. They need to gain a green so that they can get 2 gold from here. So they're gonna go on this one. It's gonna give them a yellow, a green, and a food. And the food's gonna be useful later because they're gonna probably activate this one to build another building. Alright, so that's number 1. Number 2 is obviously here. Use 3 food to get 2 gold. So 1, 2, 3. Let's get 2 more gold. So we're at 8. Now, if there was a way for them to generate 3 gold, I would definitely put this on there so that they can go to 11 and then break the tie for this one. But not really. There's a way to generate 1 here. Oh, by the way, they do get an extra one. So actually, they get an extra activation. Let's see. Oh, if they would have done this first and they do this for an extra 2 gold, they're still missing 1. Either way, they're going to be missing 1. Well, one of their activations is going to be this one for sure. So it's turn in 3 to get 4 and a food. So they'll just make 1 and a food, right? That's the conversion. And their third one, or fourth one, technically. Boy, oh boy, nothing great here. So what they would have done, actually it makes no difference. They'll end up at 3. Actually, what they would have done first is do this one so they can raise their yellow to 2. Actually, wait. No, you know what? They're gonna actually activate this last to raise their green by 2 instead of their yellow, because they don't really care about the food, and this gets them to 3. Whereas the green, if they can get to 3, they'll get an extra 2 gold here. So there you go. There's their 4 activations. Remember, they have this one that allows them to get an extra activation. So you know, their last round, they're gonna try to activate as much as possible just to regenerate new stuff over and over again. All right, so that's their move. All right, so for player A, decisions. I think I'm going to use it because I do want to build right away so I can get some of these buildings before my buddy does. And there are a couple of juicy ones. There's a 12-pointer and an 11-pointer. This one's a net of 7 though, because it's 11 minus 4. You know, every gold is a point at the end of the game. And this one is 12 minus 7, so it's a net of 5. But this one, I could activate it to generate some green and some gold. There's also this secret chamber that's really juicy because it's a net of 8 because it's not generating anything. Sorry, it's not you don't have to use any gold for it. And I think that's the one I'm going to use. So I'm looking down the line here. The only way to really build a building without me getting using food is I can either do this one, give up a gold to do it, or 2 gold to do it, or I'm going to use my special power here at the end. So I'm going to use this one. So this allows me to build a wall and place a tile. So let me get one of the last wall pieces here. Now the one I think I want to build is this one, and this one needs a wall on all sides. So I'm going to place this wall right over here. All right, and then I'm going to use 2 wood, 1, 2, and 1 stone. All right, I'm going to place this in here. All right, because it needs a wall on all sides. All right, that's pretty much my action. Let's move over here to player 2. Now I think player 2 also wants to build. They're at 4, but they do also want to activate these tiles because they're just giving them extra actions every single time. And they can just keep running certain conversions here to keep generating a lot of gold, which would be great. But they do need to excavate at least one more time, and I think that's probably a good plan. So what they're gonna do is they're gonna run, and they don't need the stone. So actually what they're gonna do first is the undermining, so they can get 3 actions, just so they can generate more gold, right? So the first action is going to be, let's see, they need to get the 3 green. So I think the first one is going to be obviously this one. So they're going to get a green, a yellow, and a food. Green, a yellow, and another food. Second one, on this one here, let's turn in 3 for 2 gold. So I'm going to be at 10, 11. All right. By the way, gold is the only resource that you can go above 9. All right, you flip over the tile and you just keep going. But it maxes out at 19. All right, so that's 2. And what's my third one going to be? I think it's just going to be this one, right? No, it's going to be, oh, I need 1 more food for this. Yeah, I'm going to go on this one. So it's going to generate me a food and an extra gold. Boom, just like that, I'm at 12 gold. So let's get rid of all of these. Alternatively, I could have raised here my green by 2. And you know what? That's probably a better idea. Just in case I run my thing again, I might be able to generate some more gold. All right, so there you go. Those are my 3 activations. Pretty much done. Let's jump over to player A. And let's see, they want to build anything. Let's see, 2 stone, 3 stone, gold. This is what actually be pretty good, but I do need a wall piece. Is there anything? Oh, there's a wall piece here. Because I know my buddy can place that one here. If he gets rid of this, then he has the U shape that I can use for this one. Let's see. There's 2 wood here, but it needs sort of a thing on both sides, which I won't be able to do at all. So that's not going to happen. I could place this one, but it's a net of 3 points, and it's only a stone. I don't even have a stone. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do this one. Maybe the building I'm going to uncover is something I actually do want to build. Although I won't have the resources to build anything, because all I have is 1 wood, and that I can't even build this one, and I could build this one, but it's useless. So what I'm going to do instead is this one. Might as well. It's going to give me my stone. Is there any other way for me to gain stone? I could activate again, but I'm going to need food. This is a good way to get food. Alright, sure. Let's do this one. Cultivation. So I'm going to gain 2 yellow. 1, 2 yellow. I'm going to gain 1 green. Remember, every time I gain green, I get a food. And then I get to activate 1. So remember, my bonus, I get a wood. And now I get to activate 1 of my buildings. I'm at 5 yellow. I'm very tempted to just turn that into points. But I do need the food to sort of build. Decisions. I probably won't get the opportunity to build multiple times, so I might as well turn it into gold. Or I can wait. There's a couple of more ones that I'll be able to activate. So instead, let's use up... I don't have 2 green. Although if I use this one, I can get to 4 green. But that doesn't help me either. I need to get to 5. So somebody could probably correct me here, but there's probably a better way to do this, but I don't see it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn in 2 food for 1 of each. No, because I need the food. So let me just do this one. Let me just get the food ready. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, that's going to bring me up to 9 food. And I think I'm done. All right, so that's that. All right. I don't know why I did that. Probably a stupid mistake, but you know what? It is a stupid mistake. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry about that. Bring that to 2. You know what? Let me just turn it into gold. It's fine. So I'm going to do this. That's going to give me 4 gold. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, I'm activating this one instead. All right, so that's it for my turn. Let's go to my buddy here. What does he want to do? He wants to excavate this and build. I think that's what he's going to do. He's going to activate the expansion. So he's going to excavate this one. Let's see what it is. It's a 3 wood and 1 stone. And you look at that. It's the perfect opportunity for him. But this one's useless. It's use a gold for a thing. But more importantly, it's straight up conversion of resources to 8 points, which is the most on the board. I think he's definitely going to build this. All right, so he's going to give up 5 food for that because he's got plenty of food. He's going to give up 5 food. He's going to give up 3 wood. He doesn't have the wood. No. So what else can he build? He can build this one. And this is straight up 5 points. You know what? He's losing out on 3 points, but at least he can build it. So you know what? He's going to build this one. So this one's going to be 1 wood and 2 stone. 1, 2. And he's going to place, he can place it anywhere. So he's just going to place it right over here. Right? Because this satisfies the condition. Then he's going to rotate it. All right, he's done. Back over to me. So I really want to build a wall piece here, so it gives me an opportunity to build this one or this one. So I'm gonna need to run this one here. So this one gives me a wood. Okay, so first it gives me a wall piece. So I'm gonna go get a wall piece. I'll put it down. All right, next gives me a wood or a stone. I think I'm gonna go for a stone in case I want to build this one. Because this is 3 and 1, so I'm missing only 1 wood. All right. Now, because it's a 1 and it's a 1, I get my wood, so I'm lining up perfectly to get this one. And then my building that I want to activate, I mean, nothing is really good. I can just activate this one here to generate me 1 point or give me 3 green resources. I don't even have 2 green resources for this. I could convert stuff here and get more resources, but that's pretty useless at this point in the game. So you know what, let me just go here. Generate an extra point. Done. All right, that was it for here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, here we go. Second last turn for player B. Now, what do they want to do? Let's see. They don't have the resources for this. They don't have the resources for this. They really don't have resources for much. They can build this one if they want. A straight up 5-point difference. Let's see. And they don't have the food for it either. They need to generate some food. They're at 2. It's going to cost them at least 3 food to do it. So to get food, I think what they're going to do is they're going to activate. Let's see. This one's also going to give them the wood to build other things. So they're going to use this one, Undergrowth, which is actually going to give them 1 food for 1 gold. All right, with this one. All right, then it's going to give them their 2 wood. 1, 2. Alright, then they get to activate a building, and I think the one they're gonna do is to get the most food. So they can get a food here. They can get 4 food here. So they're gonna turn in here 2 yellow, 1, 2, to get 4 food. So go up to 5 and 1 gold. Boom, just like that. Alright, they're done. Back over to my side. Let's see. I'm only at 2 food. I'm gonna need to get to 4 food to build, or I use up a gold. I do have to excavate as well. I mean, I can run this to excavate. Not the best use of my my thing. I think I'm gonna race straight for this because I know if I don't, my buddy might use it. So actually, this I still am missing 1 food. Oh no! So is there a way for me to generate a food? I'm gonna have to activate this one. So this one's gonna let me excavate. New building comes out on the board. All right. I activate a number 1. That gives me a free wood because of this. And then the one I'm gonna activate is the one for food. Does anything give me food? Let's see. 1 yellow. Nothing gives me food. No. This is not gonna work out so well. Actually, wait. Let me do the breach instead. Let me take that back. So I gained that wood. Let's put that tile back. Sorry about that. That was kind of dumb. So I think it was this one here. No, it was. Which one did I just do? It was this one. So let me do a breach. Now, a breach. It's the first time we see this tile. It's remove a wall piece from anywhere on your board. It's going to give you 2 stone, 1 gold, and 3 food. Alright, so it's going to give me 3 food, 1, 2, 3. Give me 1 gold, and it's going to give me 2 stone, 1, 2. Right, by the way, I had to remove a wall piece. Let me just remove this one. Once you place them and the building's there, you can start tearing these down. It doesn't actually matter. Alright, so there you go. That was my last, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, that was my last action. Pretty pedestrian. I really wanted to build, but anyway, I didn't get the resources needed to build it. So that's it. So last action here for my buddy. I think they're going to try to just build. So I think they're going to do this one here. Let's see if they can build twice. They're going to do this one here. So first they have to give up food equal to the round number. So that's going to be 4. So it's going to be a 1. So they can build. Let's see, they're at 3 wood. So I think they can build this one. So get this out of the way. They could build this one or this one. And they can't build this one. And they could build this one. Okay, so they can build this one for sure. So they're going to build this. So they're going to build this right over here. So this is going to be 1 stone. Done. Alright, then they're going to give up 1 gold. 1 of their plentiful gold. To build again. And they're going to build right over here. And they're going to build the stateroom. No, they're going to build the digging cave. So it's going to be 3 wood and 1 stone. And this is going to be perfect right over here. And it's going to go right over here. So look at that. He filled up his board. By the way, he was supposed to get this because he excavated everything first, which is sort of an extension that you put over here, but it doesn't really matter. They're not going to use it. Alright, so there you go. There's the end of the game. I think they're going to win, but let's calculate it anyway. Alright, so like I thought, I calculated the score on the side. Player B got 65, which is a really remarkable score. And player A got only 53. They didn't use up their abilities too high. If they would have got that extra building and was able to build it, they would have made it much closer because they would have got that building, which is 8 points. 8-point swing would have been close. Alright, so there you go. Those are the rules, the playthrough, and all that stuff. Let me know below if you think I should have done something different or if you enjoyed it. Alright, see you on the next one. Later.